let's be honest, boo-boo. I mean, aren't we in all these videos that we do? Fear has been the very thing ruling this civilization. And fear is the lowest vibration of all to really prevent us into our alchemy state, meaning the process of creating, of being a divine creator. And we all are. But the reason why we've forgotten this is because we've forgotten how to turn fear into love. And what if I told you fear is not something we should allow to paralyze us because we fear change? What if fear is the catalyst to getting us back into love, to getting us back into alignment, to getting us back into our remembrance? So just know, today this video is going to change your life and helping you understand that you are an alchemist of your life. And when you learn how to turn fear into love, you will realize that love is the only thing that's going to help you realize your worth and realize that you don't need to fear anything. Because when you fear anything, you really fear yourself. Ooh, oh. What is going on, you beautiful beings? Welcome back on another episode on Embracing the Ascension series with your homegirl, Brittany Fontanez. I am an intuitive shaman, healer, and reader. If you're new to this channel, welcome. On this channel, I speak about spirituality with compassion, emotional awareness with love. I do guided readings for each zodiac sign, and I talk about things I feel need to be talked about because our divine right to know more than what we have been told. Now today, man, has this been a big lesson in my life, and I know this will change your life. I know this will help you remember how to have confidence in your ability to create, but also to have confidence in who the fuck you are. God did not make you for no reason. Source, divine, universe, whatever you want to call it, has created you for a reason. The same way it thought I needed the grass, the sun, the moon, the stars, the skies. If it needed mosquitoes, then God thought the world needed one of you. And I'm here to help you remember that. And we're going to get into understanding how to turn fear into love. Now, why am I discussing this today? Is because fear has been the very thing we allow to dictate our lives. Fear, we think, is what paralyzes us. But I'm here to explain to you that fear is not something we should allow to paralyze us. It's something to help us realize the resistance that we have towards changing into our truest alchemy state, meaning being the actual being that we were sent here to be. And I know there's a lot of people who watch my channel, a lot of people who are in the spiritual journey, that you know that your soul, your higher self, chose this life, this being, this skin, this essence, because you were here for something big. And I don't want to give you so much pressure, like you got something big, but we all are here for a fucking purpose. If we think we're here by accident, you're wrong. You are not here by accident. You are here on purpose, but that is for you to believe in. And I feel that this video will help you learn to believe in that. Now, you might be asking, why is it fear the dominant vibration throughout this entire civilization? It's because fear is the easiest way to manipulate, fear is the easiest way to create stagnation, and fear is the easiest way to create division, meaning separation from connecting to human beings, knowing that we're meant to connect, separation towards our source, separation towards ourself. And when we are separate from ourselves, we don't trust self, we don't believe in self, we don't believe that we can co-create with the universe. I'm here to change that for you today, because that is so not true. Fear does not have to rule and dictate your life. Just because your family believes in it, just because your family worries, doesn't mean you have to. And the wind agrees. The wind agrees. Mother Gaia agrees, because I know you hear a calling in your heart that there's something bigger, something more within myself that I haven't yet tapped into. And I'm here to help you tap into that. And now the first way to understand how to turn fear into love is to understanding what are your fears. The best way to figure out your fears is realizing, what are your boundaries? That's a big one. A lot of people don't know their fears because they lack boundaries. You know, for me, for example, I had to be real honest with someone. I fear giving my heart to someone again. Yeah, I could be honest about that. Not only because I've been hurt in the past, it's because I think too much in the future. I think too much about what my future self wants. And at the same time, I got to realize this exists, this moment exists. I can't forget this. But I was not creating boundaries with myself, not creating boundaries with realizing that this is all I have right now. Let me make the most out of this. I wasn't creating boundaries to let people know how I feel and what I need, and how, their way of interacting with me does affect me in some way. The easiest way to know your fears is by, what do you lack boundaries in? Do you lack boundaries in saying no when you don't want to be touched? Do you lack boundaries in saying no to saying no to people or to things that you don't want to do? Do you lack boundaries in learning how to speak up and say yes to what you want to do? Do you lack actually discipline? Do you lack commitment? Listen, boundaries shows you how committed you are to showing up for yourself and for life and for others in general. So the way to really identify your fears is, what do you lack boundaries in? Majority of us lack boundaries in knowing when to take a day off, knowing when to rest, knowing when to speak up, knowing when to pull back, to let go. Now, the best way to identify your fears is by being honest with yourself. What do you really, really want? And what is it that is keeping you from feeling into that very thing that you desire? Now, I want you guys to understand, being an alchemist, it takes letting go of desire. It takes letting go of want. And you might be saying, but wait, you just said, what if I desire? There's a difference between wanting and desiring, and actually detachment. There's a huge difference between the three. But I'm here to share with you is that you have the power to realize anything that you think you already are. So you don't need to want it or desire it. You just need to realize and be it. But if you can't be that, then realize what is preventing you from being it right here, right now, without needing it in the physical. What is it emotionally and mentally that's keeping you away from it? Easiest way to identify your fears is by, what do you lack boundaries in, and what is it that you prevent yourself from actually feeling into and leaning into and embodying, actually. All right, now the second way to turn fear into love is by realizing fear. There's a difference between fear paralyzing us and resistance. A lot of people think they fear when really they are having resistance. Let me switch my camera around. Let me get some good lighting up in here. Look at that glow. Look at that glow. Yeah, love on yourself, bro. Love on yourself. Because you're the only one who's going to lift yourself up. You're the only one who's going to know what you are meant here to do. And you're the only one who's going to change what is preventing you from changing. So get back into it. How to turn fear into love. The second way is by identifying, what is fear? What is fear to you? You got to ask yourself, is what I want really what I want, or is it other people telling me what I want? Am I attending to what is it I really want? And I know we just talked about want and desire, but you know what I mean. Am I attending to those things that I know I'm meant to be? Or am I attending to things to make myself believe in who I know I'm not meant to be? There's a huge difference. So you got to identify fear. Because majority of us, the reason why we fear change, the reason why we fear our power is because we are literally out of alignment. We are out of sync with our true divine blueprint and our divine essence. The only reason why fear shows up, fear is good. Fear is healthy. I want you to know that. Fear is very, very healthy. But we like to identify fear with procrastination, with why you can't move forward. No, that's resistance. You resist persevering. You resist discipline. You resist actually leaning into love, leaning into yourself. Fear is a beautiful, beautiful catalyst you can use to make radical change, because it helps you realize what makes you out of sync with the very thoughts that make you feel that's who you are. Fear literally helps you to lean in to realizing the resistance that is pulling you back. So understand that the way to turn fear into love is by identifying, what is fear to you? Are you using fear as an excuse to why you don't want to change? Or is there a resistance behind the thing that you're labeling as fear that's trying to teach you to lean into it so you can learn what is holding you back? Now, the last last thing I want to share with you, how to turn fear into love, is by realizing, what do you think love is? That's a big question. Because a lot of people think love is in another person. Love is in, things. Love is in happiness. And people think happiness comes from money. Happiness comes from sex. Happiness comes from friends, from family. Listen, I'm going to be blunt with you, boo-boo. I'm not saying you can't experience love or all these good things or riches or abundance. That is your divine right. You're meant to experience everything that God created on this world. But you got to be honest with yourself and realistic in realizing that we come onto this planet with nothing. Not even fucking clothes. We're going to die with nothing. Not even our clothes or our skin. So we have to be real honest with ourselves. What is love? Because a lot of us got a distorted perspective of love. Like for me, for example, I grew up believing that love was toxic. Love is about running and chasing, and fighting and manipulation. Because I seen that in my parents' dynamic. We literally learn our love language from our parents. And if we don't take care of that as we get older, we're only going to project and we're only going to blame because we lack doing the inner work. I'm here to share with you that your perspective of love may not be the truest perspective of love to your heart. Because your mind may be telling you, oh, this is love, loving someone who's emotionally unavailable, waiting for someone who actually just abandoned you, or thinking that, doing what's right for other people instead of for yourself is love. It's not true. It's just not true. So the best way to turn fear into love is by realizing, what is love to you? What is love to you? The best way I do this is by realizing parts of myself that I've neglected and parts of myself that I adore. And I know this may sound very selfish, but you got to understand, everything that's outside of you is a reflection of who you are. So you got to identify, how are you seeing people? How are you seeing yourself? How are you showing up? That is a clear indication of what love means to you. Because there's love absolutely everywhere. But if we're not really committed into feeling immersed into this experience, as I'm looking at a cute ass dragonfly right now, it's a baby one. If we're not fully immersed in this experience, then we're only lying to ourselves. We're not being authentic. We're not being honest. A lot of us want to be spiritually bypassing or positive bypassing by believing, if I just shrug it under the rug and I just force myself to feel good, I'll be fine. No, you won't be fine. Being an alchemist of your life and a creator of your life takes and requires honesty, vulnerability, knowing what you really want, and believing in who you truly are. For me, I'm a starseed, bruh. I'm a starseed. I'm a wolf. I'm a shaman. I'm a Pleiadian, bro. I'm all these things, multi-dimensional being. And I know a lot of people may think I'm crazy. A lot of people are like, I think you should get a job, and you don't want to listen to the government. You should get that shot. A lot of people may think I'm nuts. A lot of people may think I'm crazy, but at the end of the day, at least I can show up being my true self. And that's what you yearn for. That's what your heart yearns for, is to be your true self. But the only way to be your true self is by realizing what is holding you back from being your true self. And that's why I want you to understand how to turn fear into love, because fear is just a catalyst to bring you back into love. Listen, let's be real for a minute. We need resentment in order to know compassion. We need hatred in order to know love. We need sadness in order to know happiness. We need anger in order to know understanding. You get what I'm saying, you guys? We need all these opposite things because they're going to propel us into the next version of who we're meant to be. We always need the ebbs and flow of life to teach us what it is we're resisting and what it is we need to let go of and what it is we need to allow. So, other than that, you beautiful beings, the best way I can share with you is how to turn fear into love is by identifying who you really are in your heart, identifying your fears. What do you lack in boundaries? What are you using fear as an excuse for? Realize this, because the reason why we all fear change, what's happening in the world right now, is causing us to really look within and seeing how we affected this life up until this point. But it's literally source, it's literally Mother Gaia getting ready to birth a new life for us that's going to benefit us. But we first got to free ourselves. In order to free ourselves, we got to understand the truth. And here's the thing. The truth will piss you off. But you know it sets you free. So we got to be honest with ourselves right here, right now. How to turn fear into love by first identifying why we fear in the first place. Why we fear change. Why we fear our power. And why we fear life. And abundance at that. Because there's abundance everywhere. I mean, look at these trees. Look at this grass. Shit. Look at me and you. There's different ass human beings. We all look fucking different. There's so much abundance in this world. Identify why you fear that. Why you fear you. And then identify what does love mean to you. And commit to attending to that every single day. And I guarantee your life will change to the point you will feel immense possibility for creating what you want. You will feel immense possibility that you can actually create a change in this world. You will just feel so much power surging through you that you know you're not here for no reason, and that you know there's a higher power assisting you, backing you up, and wanting the best for you, because you finally see the best in you. Other than that, you beautiful beings, that's all I wanted to share with you today. If you guys want and need some more assistance on understanding what love means to you and not knowing how to allow it in or open up your heart, I do have a heart healing program that you can schedule for. It goes month to month. I actually have, I think the longest is 12 weeks. So you can schedule your appointment by going to the website down in the description box below. Hit that link and schedule your appointment with me here today. I also have donation-based sessions as well for any healing or readings that you may need. And I will be gladly to assist you on your journey. So don't hold back anymore, boo-boo. You ain't alone. And just know your girl got you. Your girl got you. But other than that, you guys, I love you guys so much. I really hope this helps, and let me know your feedback if any of these things have really triggered or activated something within you. But other than that, you guys, I love you so much. Please have a blissful day. Get your vitamin D and really look at yourself in the mirror and fall in love with the being of why God made you. And I guarantee you never look at yourself the same ever again as just a human being. I love you guys. See you on the next one, and namaste.